I'm Thomas Swift, and I'm moderating the education panel today. Our first panelist is OperativePhoenix. Please introduce yourself and tell us about it. A little about yourself, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Phoenix. Sorry. I've been disabled since after my car accident that has been affecting my mobility in real life. I love to fly airplanes and do educational activities in Second Life. I was going to Claremont Graduate School for my PhD in history when I was in a car accident. So I gave up on my PhD and now I live in Japan and I teach English in Second Life.
What sort of educational service do you provide?
I've been teaching English at a language learning sim called Cyprus for people from non-English speaking countries using some historical materials. They have some great educators who also taught me how to teach English on Second Life. Also, Also, I've been studying science at the Science Circle, where a lot of science educators do presentations on science. I got involved in a current ongoing project called Moon-Based Project, which they are allowing non-science background people like me to get involved.
How does your disability change how you teach, or does it?
Because of my physical situation, I had to give up on my PhD and I can't get a regular job right now. I get extremely tired from the daily pain I suffer from, which is ameliorated by my medications right now.
Why is teaching in Second Life a better platform for you?
It is easier for me to teach on Second Life because the students wouldn't see me in pain when I'm teaching with just my voice. I don't have to be standing up, or I don't have to do some exaggerated moves with hand gestures when I'm teaching with just my voice and some websites.
Thank you very much. Our next panelist is Itico Spectre. Welcome, Itico. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself.
Hello, everybody. I created an account in Second Life almost 18 years ago and quickly joined several education groups. My first bachelor's degree is in instructional technology, and I studied computer-based training. I was interested in how we could use technology to teach better. It was natural for me to journey into virtual worlds, and my first educational opportunity to do so was in 1995 with a text-only university, in quotation marks, that was accredited.
Itico says, I created an account on Second Life almost 18 years ago and quickly joined several education groups. My first bachelor's degree was in instructional technology, and I specialized in computer-based training. I was interested in how we can use technology to teach better. It was natural for me to journey into virtual worlds, and my first educational opportunity to do so was in 1995 with a text-only university that was accredited in France.
Oh, great. My speech is not working? Oh. No. Okay. Thomas, I'm done.
Okay. What sort of educational service do you provide?
I am an advocate for the disabled and elderly. I communicate regularly with state and federal legislatures. I am on the board of directors of a local aging and disability resource center where I educate board members and community members about the needs of the disabled. In Second Life, I decided to take that advocacy into gaming. Okay, sorry, I was making sure that my microphone was on because I was hitting the wrong button. My games will be played visually and in text. Can be played by visually, and so sighted and blind people can play together. Outside of Second Life, I no longer teach public speaking, but I am in the pool for written and oral communication at a local 2-year technical college, and I also teach Linux and do-it-yourself computing and sometimes basic electronics. There you go.
How does your disability change how you teach, or does it?
It absolutely does. Being visually impaired absolutely does affect how I teach. I walk around and even cycle without major issues, but when it comes to reading notes, yeah, just forget about it. It would have helped me if I had learned Braille. I have used voice prompts, large print on paper and 3x5 cards. It's tricky. What works for me is knowing my subject extremely well, and as well as good old-fashioned memorization, which I'm obviously not doing today. Of course, that is when I am teaching in person. Second Life is so different. It is especially when we have auto-type tools like we are using today. Not that I'd want to put our wonderful transcribers out of work.
Why is teaching in Second Life a better platform for you?
Teaching in Second Life is better for me because I am a visually impaired person who lives in a 2-hour car trip away from any major city or airport. SL gives me a way to reach out to a larger audience. Second Life allows me to reach beyond emotional and geographical limitations. It also allows us to engage with people. Got derailed. That's the way it goes. I especially enjoy using games to raise awareness because I believe that the best teaching happens when we are not actually outside of a standard educational environment. I always wanted to be a teacher and always wanted to be out there with everyone else. I believe that yeah, I'm doing really great today. Sorry about that. I'm just going to stop there.
Thank you very much. You actually did really well.
See, that's the thing is, I'm going to go until my card tells me to stop because, okay, fine, whatever. You get the point, and I hope I do better later on. The tiger speaks, but not very often. There we go. You had one more question, I think, Thomas?
Why is teaching in SL a better platform for you?
Yeah. I am an advocate for the disabled and elderly. I don't know what happened. It reset on me. So I think I answered the question.
I think you did.
Yeah, my speakeasy apparently broke.
Ouch! It's not tiger rated. We know that.
No, definitely not. Thank you very much, everybody.
Our next panelist is Timm Short. Tell us about yourself a bit, Timm.
One second. Okay, my name is Timm Short. I, came to Second Life in 2007. So I got it started. And, I ran a website called Disability Voice. And currently I am a vice president of a local non-profit for disability and the elderly.
What sort of educational service do you provide?
Well, I'm not a professional educator, but I educate by doing. So I came to Second Life and help people build and turn down their objects and talk about my life. I also have helped out all these years in Second Life. Lately, I had just come back for about 7 years, and I had just started to be accurate. Okay.
How does your disability change how you teach, or does it?
Well, yes. It teaches because I teach because I'm on Medicaid. I can't make a whole lot of money. So I like helping people. And this is one medium where I'm at more of a even to help people because my disability doesn't matter in Second Life. And also, I mean, since COVID, a lot were opened up for like Zoom and virtual conferences, so I can be a voice so that it can help people. You know, like some people that I can be a voice so that even though I spend most of the time in bed.
Why is teaching in Second Life a better platform for you?
Yes. I tried this estimate because it has to do with my disability. Is not really it's here.
Thank you, Tim, for that. Our next panelist is Carla Heartsong. Please introduce yourself and your background.
Carla says, "Hi, I'm Carla. I've been working professionally for decades, but since 2020, I'm an assistant at a nearby university. I mostly do practical classes with exercises. I've had a brain tumor in 2010 and leg cancer in 2016, but survived both. Though 13 years ago, I led a project for virtual ability, a real-life project, where we investigated the accessibility of digital courses for people with disabilities for several colleges and universities in the United States.
What sort of educational service do you provide?
It's okay, Carla. Carla says, I teach in the field of my master's degree, which is the crossroad between information systems and economics. As I said before, in 2010, we did a big project checking the accessibility of various courses. Therefore, we created a project team of members of virtual ability. So this crossed my own field of expertise, project management, with education, with and for people with disabilities. And Carla's smiling.
How does your disability change how you teach, or does it?
Carla says, yes, actually it kicked off my interest in teaching. I had a brain tumor removed in April 2010. The vast impact of such a relatively small, strange object in my brain has not just changed my life, but also how I look at life and at others. I also have chronic pain or exhaustion, both which sometimes make it difficult to teach standing up or even to focus decently. Therefore, I always look at the accessibility of what I teach for my students, making courses readable, even for students who need a text-to-voice system. And I'm always very aware of limitations. Carla says, during my classes, as well as my exams, I try to accommodate students with certain disabilities, especially the invisible ones. One example is a woman with autism who couldn't stand the noise from fluorescent lamps. Another one was a guy who needed more time, as he has a form of dyslexia.
Do you consider Second Life a useful place to learn and teach?
Carla says, SL takes away the physical boundaries, but also can take away the mental stress. People can communicate, yet they don't have to show themselves or even use voice. Social anxiety, agoraphobia, etc. are easier to deal with. So you can communicate in private with someone to support. It will not even be noticeable in group.
Well, we're now down to the point where we can take questions from the audience. Do we have any?
Timm says, please, and Itico says, come on, I don't bite much. And Gentle says, thank you, panelists. Buffy asks, how inspiring you are. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? So where do you see yourself in 5 years? How would you?
Dolor,
Open.
espalda y paletilla izquierda. Espalda.
Sorry, I keep hearing somebody, but what I will say is in 5 years, I plan
Dolor
to
cadera.
actually have more games
Izquierda.
out. Right now, I don't have anything except for a little tiny 6-sided die, which you can play some games with, but I hope to have many more games that are playable by both sighted and blind individuals.
Sophie says, that's awesome, Itico. Thank you. The lecturer reminds Pi that your mic is on. And Carla says, I have no idea where I'll be in 5 years. I focus mostly on now. Attica asks, was Tux University very much different from the study you did after that? Carla says, I've heard of it, but that is all.
I've heard of it also.
Itico, I can't remember, but was that you who mentioned Tux University, or was it somebody else?
No, I had worked with a text-based university. I put it in quotations because for a while they didn't even have any accreditation. They barely had students at the time. Then when they became accredited, it was just starting out, and then they, to put it politely, insulted me, so I left.
Okay, thanks for that, Itico. Ms. Gentle has another question. Are any of you panelists or audience aware of the Virtual World Education Consortium as Second Life Archipelago of educational institutions with a presence in this virtual world? So Gentle wants to know who would be aware of the Virtual World Education Consortium. Carla says, our universities here are government-driven and regulated, so we don't have official universities in other forms than well-known physical ones. Gentle has posted a slurl to the Virtual World Education Consortium. You see that at least one person is aware and at least one person isn't. Let me see, I guess a couple of people are aware. Just reading out the questions and responses. Yeah, you're welcome, Diana. Thank you. A link to the Virtual World Education Consortium if you want to check it out later. And Itico is aware as well. So it looks like quite a few people are aware. And And Lori Vaughn is saying break time, I believe, folks. Lady Tigers, you're asking if you can voice your question. Absolutely. Give it a try.
My question is for Itico. Can you hear me?
Really good, thank you.
Oh, awesome. You said that you have developed games within Second Life for people with disabilities and those that are those that are able to play. What types of games? Can you give me an example? I've never heard of your games before. And are you ever thinking of doing a D&D type game where you can use more dice? Just asking.
Gentle, do you still have the simple 1d6 that I gave you? I don't, because it has to be somebody who can res here.
Itico was asking if someone could res the game, and Diana says, I have the very first game that you gave me, but right now I can't res.
Yeah.
And
sometimes, though, it's better to show, but if we can't do it, we can't do it. What it is I'm starting with dice games, and my plan is that I will actually make a full set of D&D or / roleplay dice. But I'll also be doing Farkle, 10,000, you know, and many, many others.
Itico, Faith is asking what languages are you writing your games with? Itico, sorry, did you catch Faith's question? She's asking what languages you're writing your games in. And iSky would like to know how big a footprint is the game.
Oh, I did try to answer, but I'm using the middle mouse buttons, and apparently it didn't click. Because there's no audio feedback when you push the button. You know, these non-accessible viewers. Second. I was actually looking for iSky's name in the... Oh, there we go. I'm going to toss it at you, iSky. It is tiny. So... I am getting frustrated. 6. There we go. Okay. So iSky should have it in a moment. It's tiny. So res it on my head or something, because it's small and green.
Both Gentle and LV have reminded us that it's probably smart to take a break.
Yeah. Well, some of us are breaking. Oh, there we go. Ice. It's an ice guy. Put it on a cube. Great. It's up on stage here. So you won't be able to see it if you're further away than 5 meters, but because it whispers, but it whispers in text. Electra has rolled it. If you camera close and you roll it, you'll actually see that it moves. It changes position. So
that is very cool.
But also, what it allows you to do, other than, I'm going to use a special command. For those of you who like to play dice games, you can do complex calculations with them.
Oh, wow. You have GURPS dice.
Well, I just say calculations, but I can't think of, there's a gaming term for it, you know?
DMs, dice modifiers.
Yeah. Okay. Because the command that I did was roll 5d6 minus 2. But I did that on channel 1 so that it doesn't come out in the public chat. I will be selling this eventually, but since it's a single prim with a simple script, I was going to charge people 10 linden for it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Break time now, folks. This has been wonderful fun.